service. What is up, listeners? Welcome back to another episode of the Full Service Podcast. I am Tank Smith, your host. Today is episode 70. Thanks for being here. Shout out to my guest from last week, Alice Little. Alice, I appreciate you coming on the podcast. That was a lot of fun. If you have not yet, check out last week's episode. Give Alice a follow. She is on Twitter at AliceLittleTV. You can find her at onlyfans.com/theAliceLittle. I will have a link to both of those. Also, her GoFundMe for the Nevada Brothel Legal Defense Fund in the Libsyn page from last week. So make sure you hit that Libsyn page. Show her some love. As always, you can find us on Twitter, on Instagram at FullServicePod. I am at TankFunkadelic. If you want to support the show, head on over to patreon.com/fullservicepod. You'll be able to hear interviews, content that you can only hear on Patreon. Our January Patreon episode for the people we got on Patreon, that'll probably be dropping, I guess probably next week. But I'll keep y'all updated on Twitter, on Instagram, so you'll know as soon as it drops. If you enjoy the show, if you like what we're doing here, make sure you subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to us on. You'll be alerted as soon as those new episodes drop. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, oh boy, you got an iPhone, hit us with a 5-star rating. If you could write us a review, that would help us out so much. Ratings and reviews help for visibility for the podcast. Also, tell somebody. I say tell somebody that you like about the podcast. Tell somebody you don't like about the podcast. Anger them, and they're like, oh, wow, I like this podcast, So just tell people about the podcast. We're trying to spread the full service word all over the globe, so hey, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Today, episode 70, super excited. My guest is a Detroit-based elite provider, dancer, content creator, Aniston Bleu. We recorded this in December. Probably, maybe around like a month ago. She was in town for a couple days. We talk about her trip. She went to the Trap Museum. Sounds like a dope spot. I gotta go. We talk about her start in sex work, dancing at a club in Detroit, branching out, going independent, eating vegan, going viral on Twitter, working during the pandemic, creating content for OnlyFans, everything. We talk about it all. Super excited for y'all to hear this. You can find Aniston on Twitter at Aniston Bleu. That is Aniston Bleu. Oh boy. She is at Instagram at Aniston.blue, and you can find her at OnlyFans/Aniston Bleu. Super excited for y'all to hear this. I will stop talking. I will see y'all on the other side. I hope you enjoy this interview with Aniston Bleu. Thanks. Welcome back, listeners. It's Tank Smith. I'm so excited for today's episode. My guest is a Detroit-based elite provider, dancer, content creator, Aniston Bleu. Aniston, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me.
Fuck yeah, I'm glad we could do this. This is great. I know we're in Atlanta right now. You're visiting for a few days. Where are you visiting us from?
From Detroit, really.
I feel like the weather has to be a lot different in Atlanta. Is it like snowing there? Like, have you guys got snow and shit?
So it's actually my first year being in Detroit, I guess.
Oh God.
So I've heard that I got lucky and haven't seen the bad snow that happens there.
Yeah.
But I'm from the New York and East Side, so I've seen snow.
Okay.
Dealt through that. It's been kind of I hate the snow, so it's been a blessing to not see the snow.
I feel like hating the snow and living in Detroit. I feel like those two things
don't mix.
You can't have this. You can't have both.
I'm kind of like running away from it right now. Yeah.
I feel you.
I feel like that's what's happening.
It does not snow here, so you're in the right place to be. That's good.
It's weird to be going outside without a jacket on. It's December. Yeah. Like Christmas is this month.
God. I know. I saw are you from Lithuania originally?
I am. I was born there. But I did come here when I was 2. I used to go every summer though, so I definitely grew up in the culture of it, and with it around my family.
That's just Lithuania. I was thinking about this, right? Like, how like U.S., we have like Canada that we're kind of cool with. Mm-hmm. Does Lithuania, do you guys have a Canada of Lithuania? Is that a thing?
So I guess you could say like they don't have a problem with the Russians, really.
Okay. So like Russia's the Canada.
It's right there. It's on the border of it. So they don't have like a problem with them. Yeah. But I feel like with what's happened in that side of the world.
Yeah.
It's not gonna ever be the same.
That makes sense.
So they kind of like stay in their own little bubble.
Okay.
And they're like, cool, we got our independence now. We're gonna keep to ourselves.
Fuck yeah.
Like, fuck y'all.
Do you speak Lithuanian?
I do. I definitely was raised speaking that.
Nice. Do you know what? Can you say full service in Lithuanian? Do you know what that is?
I can. Pilnas aptarnavimas.
That's the name of the episode right there. Hell yeah. We're, like I said before, listeners, we're in Atlanta right now. Have you been able to do anything? I know, look, we're in the fucking pandemic and like everything is closed. Have you been able to do anything like while you've been here?
I actually got to see Mulatto, Big Lotto last weekend. I don't even know what day that was. Definitely don't know the days. Got to see her at the Trap Museum.
I've been trying to go to the Trap. Is it good?
That was dope. Okay, like that was really dope. I definitely should have spent more time looking at the art that was up there. That was crazy.
What do they have at the Trap? Because I've been wanting to go for a while. Like I've seen signs for it.
It's so hilarious that it's like looks like it's in the hood. Like it kind of looks like it is in the hood. Yeah. And it's just like, it makes sense. It's the Trap Museum, and it's just like all the rappers and like, I forgot who it was. I think it was like Nipsey Hussle and stuff.
Okay.
Of just like even outlays of like recreations of like the living rooms and stuff. Like that was dope to see.
Like of their houses.
Yeah. Like I forgot who it was, but it was like somebody's living room of like mad weed and like everything. Just like if you felt like you were there. Damn. And like old TV, everything. Damn, TV was on too, like it was dope. Yeah, I
gotta go because I literally I'll see signs for it all the time. I saw somebody with a shirt the other day. It was like Trap Music Museum. Right. I was like, I need to fucking go.
Yeah, for sure, cool.
Fuck yeah!
You're from here, aren't you? From here?
And I still never. Like, I moved back like last summer, so I feel like there's still like so much shit that I need to like Atlanta things that I need to do that I haven't done yet.
Right.
But definitely Trap Music Museum is on the list of things to do.
That was cool. Definitely a dope experience.
Hell yeah. What's something you're passionate about? What do you like to do for fun?
What do I like to do other than smoke weed every day and
every day, all day.
And just do my job and hustle and live my life to the best.
Fuck yeah.
Other than that, and just like, I really do, I'm also into art. Like definitely more, I want to get more into it.
Okay.
It's just been put aside maybe for a while now of exploring my imagination.
Okay.
That's what I haven't gotten to get into that really. So I'm glad to be in this where I am now. This is like the time, so I'm excited to get into that.
Do you have like, if you were going to create art, like what kind of like art you would kind of do, or like?
I definitely used to paint all the time.
Okay.
I like drawing. I like even you being a kid, I was like, oh, maybe I'll be a tattoo artist one day, and like put my art on people's bodies and stuff, like doing all that. I don't know what kind of art, anything really, that comes to my head. But like even when it comes down to like food, I take that as art.
Yeah.
Like even with weed and food, like I think about that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, can't wait to put those two together. More than just like a brownie that gets you
high. Yeah. I think there's a show in like Viceland where it's like Bon Appetit, I think.
Yes.
Where they'll like just like infuse weed in like so many like different dishes. Yep. That shit's good.
Mm-hmm. Like I wonder how high I'd be to try that. Like I'd probably be high for like days.
God. I feel like I'd have a panic attack though. I feel like every time I eat, like the last edible I had, right? I ate it and then I forgot about it.
Right.
And I'm in traffic. And I'm like, oh God, my chest is beating, like fucking heart is beating so fast. I'm super uncomfortable. And I'm like, oh, it's the edible. Okay.
Yeah, that's like one thing about them that you forget you take them.
Yeah.
And you're just like, why am I this slow right now? Why am I dysfunctioning? And
shit sneaks like, fucking up on you.
Yep.
I've had a few people on the podcast that are vegans. I know you're a vegan, right?
I am. Yeah, I just started this year as well. My
biggest question, should I be vegan?
Yeah.
I should be vegan.
Everybody should.
Everybody should be vegan. Yeah. What happens to all the cows then?
They should live their lives and like we are.
Then people are I feel like people, like if they let the cows out, people are going to be hitting cows like they hit deer and shit. It's not going to be good. We got to eat them.
Like I don't think we should eat them. I think that they're already being like not raised the right way anyway. So they're not being like I feel like if it wasn't overpopulated and like just like chickens and stuff.
Yeah. The chicken slaughter in America is pretty incredible.
Like why, if we didn't have all that, I don't think there would be that crazy amount. I think they'd be where they need to be. And
that's true.
Done their thing, but now they're being eaten by people like us. So
part of the problem. I'm part of the problem. It's not good.
I was part of it, so it's like no hate, but it's definitely a big eye opener when you look into it. Yeah, it's like I don't want to say disgusting, but it definitely is.
I can agree with that. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. Goddamn, Aniston, I appreciate you coming on the podcast. It's good. Thanks so much. Do you feel like you can remember your like first exposure to sex work at all?
Definitely. First exposure ever. I guess when I was really young, like being a teenager, taking nudes for like boyfriends and stuff. And then I think I got to a point where I was like, I could make some money off this right now. So I think like 15, like 16. Okay. I was like, cool. We're going to make some money off this. And like my feet, like I was like, yeah, I see girls making money off this. Why am I not?
Everybody loves the feet pics.
Right.
You can make some money doing that shit.
You can make, anything.
Oh, yeah. Did you know anybody else at the time that was like also kind of doing that like picture thing or like?
No, not at that time. So the time that I did start going to the strip club type of taking it to the next level, when I turned 20, no, I was 19. Yeah. Okay. 19, I think at the time, or 20. And so last year I was with a friend. I just met this girl. She actually had the same name as me.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she was completely opposite of me though.
Yeah.
Never thought I would do something like this anyways. Like I was like, I've thought about it, like cool, I would definitely make some bread doing that, but I don't know if I want to go that route. Working at like warehouses and like doing my thing. And she's like the total opposite of like, I make money literally from boys of her boyfriends and like acts like she likes them. And I'm like, never thought about doing that, you know, like, and like her parents had money type of thing. So I was like, very different of what I was going into. So when I met her, she was already doing that, like working at the club. So I was like, oh, well, yeah. I mean, I could just get into that now, I guess.
Or did you did you ever dance before? Like, just like, do you have like a background of dance at all before going into the strip club?
No. Definitely, other than my bedroom, no, and the shower and stuff. Yeah, and no.
Do you feel like were you good at it immediately? Like, was this like I feel like some things like you start, you're like it takes a while to get good at. Some people are just like do something, and they're like immediately fucking sick. Yeah. Do you feel like there was like a learning curve or like a?
Oh, there's definitely a learning curve. I think in everything, it's just like the levels of it for each and everybody's own growing process. But definitely was easy to go into it after you get over yourself and like after you get over the fact that it's different and that change of like, wait, what am I doing? Like this is totally different. I never thought like, and then going into it and doing it is like dope. Now that I got this flow of it, it's like I'm gonna go crazy.
Fuck yeah. Starting out like at the club, I know you said you knew your friend that kind of worked there. Mm-hmm. Was there anybody who kind of like helped you along the way starting out? Or are you kind of going into it like, I'm just doing this myself, let's see how it goes kind of thing?
I guess I don't know how other people are. I'm different, I guess. Yeah. I like to ask people. I try to make friends with everybody there, get their stories, how they've been, how long they've been there, even on like the place and like the vibes and stuff. Especially being my first time there, because I've heard you hear crazy stuff about even like with sex work. You hear crazy bad stuff about strip clubs, working there. There's a bad image there. And luckily I got into a place that wasn't like that. So it wasn't like, oh no, you're giving head in the back, like for money. Like, no, this place, like you can't do that. Okay. Or like you're both getting kicked out.
So it's not follies. So, it's not like follies. Okay.
So I was like, that's not, if it was like that, I would not be doing that.
Yeah.
At all. Like absolutely not. That's not for me. I could just go do that on my own free time, I guess. So yeah, I was just asking everybody their opinions and like how they've been, and like because there's everybody there. There's like 40-year-old women, and then there's like 18-year-old girls,
Yeah.
and there's like 30-year, like, you know, everybody, every type of foreigners, like there's everybody, every type of ethnicity and stuff. So just getting everybody's story and their vibe on that, and I kind of kept to myself, like not really kept to myself because it's a different industry, it's different people, especially the girls. Them just being there, like I was just being there for money, like I'm trying to make my money.
Yeah, I mean
home.
that's what so many people are doing.
Right.
It's like I'm
not
make
trying
money.
to make friends with you or anything like that, and it's like so that part. So no, like I never really, even with the girl that I was there with, like got into it with, like I was more into it than her. She kind of like hated it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like she was just there for money. Like,
okay.
But I was like, like I like money, and I like this.
Yeah.
And I'm good at this.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So
I feel like it has to be good finding something that's like I'm good at this, and I also get paid a lot. Like that's fucking dope.
Right. Yeah. And being young, I was like, this is definitely amazing that I got introduced to this.
Yeah. Going into it, was it like something you're like, I feel like I'm going to dance for a little bit, get out, or like a longevity kind of thing where I'm going to do it for a while?
I don't think anybody should. That's why it was amazing to see 40-year-olds and like almost 50-year-olds like still doing it. And I'm like,
you got to go. There's a strip club in Atlanta. It's the Claremont Lounge. And so it's like I guess I went a couple months ago, and it's like maybe they had like 8 dancers and 4 were probably like over 55, and then like the rest were like kind of like younger, but like they specialize in like older dancers. It's wild. It's dope. Yeah.
And like I'm not gonna lie, like this one lady, she was really dope. Like she's been there for like almost 20 years though, and
oh, nice.
But she was still spinning, doing her things, and she's almost 50 years old.
Yeah,
like that's what I'm saying. It's like, I mean, that's good for you, go crazy, but like, why are you still at a strip club with like, you know, like I just feel like there's more. In my head, it was a few year plan, like a real quick. Even with this, like I'm not trying to stay stuck in it and keep doing the same thing. Okay. It's like with that's just me though. With any other job though, I never stuck with a job. I had like 4 jobs a year, like 10 jobs some years. Yeah. Like I'm not doing this. I can't do this every day. I need something different. I need new. Change. Something.
Yeah, I mean, some people, you just like some people like are fine doing the same thing forever. Some people like, everybody's fucking different, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you feel like did you have a biggest challenge like starting out in dancing at all?
Yeah, confidence was definitely the biggest thing.
That makes sense. I mean, it is like almost like sales. Like you're having to go up to somebody and be like, "Hey, would you like a dance?"
Right.
No.
So,
okay,
like,
cool. Let me go to somebody. Like it's
right. So I didn't. That's what I was like. That's what I had to get over. Like and realize I'm selling myself now. Like who the fuck knows you better than yourself though?
Yeah. And
it's like I used to sell clothes. I used to make sandwiches and stuff. You have a menu. You have a thing that you're looking at. You know what your options are and stuff. I have to let you know what that, like, it's a different type of, because it's a person now. It's like a human. It's not just a buying type of thing. Like, it's just it's very different.
It's different than like a product. Like a fucking person.
It's a service that's a walking service. And it's just like different to be in that type of position. Yeah. I guess.
Before dancing, right? Did you like have like an idea, like, had you been to strip clubs before? Did you kind of know what it was? Like going like...
I actually never been to a strip club before walking in for my interview.
Really?
So no, I literally never been to a strip club, never walked in there and was like, oh, this is what this looks like. Yeah. That's cool. Like, okay. All right, I've seen this on like TV and like stuff like that and what it looks like on the inside. I'm like, never been though.
Damn, that's
never
wild.
Even experienced like doing. I don't even know like what. That's what I'm saying. Like going there the first like week was like trying to just watch. Like what do I even do? Like what is my role? Like what is my job? Because it's not a place you get taught. What to do. It's not like you have 2 weeks of training. Like no, there's no handbook. There's no, you're figuring this out.
You
like
just get hired and you're on the floor.
Right. Like you get walked through, this is where this is, this is where this is. If yep, this were the stages. You go up this time, and
Do you ever get like? Did they ever like fire someone for being bad, like at dancing?
for sure.
They were like, "You're not."
You get like a. Well, the place that I went to. See, I don't know other places.
Yeah.
I'm sure other places didn't. But the place I was at, yeah, for sure. If you have like 2 or 3 days,
Yeah.
like if you're not making any money, like you're gonna get fired. And it's just hilarious. It was funny to see like girls complain about it.
Yeah.
And it's like you're sitting there. Like, you're just sitting there. I understand you don't know what to do, and you've never done this, or you're nervous or something, but you're also not doing anything about it. And it's like, it's not for me. And I'm like, you didn't do anything to do anything about it.
That is true. Damn. What, are you still dancing now?
No.
What was your, I guess, transition, kind of like exiting dancing, like getting into like going independent? How was that?
Personally, it was definitely a big change, a big leap. That was like, whoa.
Like, I mean, it's like two different things, you know, like one's dancing, one's like being with somebody like one-on-one kind of thing, you know?
Right. Like at first it was, I'm at the, like I'm viewing these guys as very creepy. Like I'm like, you're weird. Like, cause I did day shift. I never was like a night person. I was like, I'm doing daytime. Like, you guys are the weirdos and I'm just going to take your money though, but whatever. But you can't ever take me home and I'm never going to be one-on-one with you. Yeah. And going into that, it was just like, so now we're alone. And now you do get to touch me and stuff and do your thing. It's okay, cool, different. But I was definitely getting ready to do that while even working at the club. Okay. Like, I was trying to figure out how to do it. I was just trying to be, like, safe about it, though. Yeah. I was like, I'm not trying to get, like, kidnapped. I'm not trying to... Some dude was trying to take me to, like, Boston. He was like, oh, come to the casino with me in Boston and stuff. And I'm like, why can't we go to the one in this state? Yeah. One. Boston two. Is a long like, way. Why... Right. Like, why are we doing all that? And he's like, oh, I just know people. And I'm like... Great, so we'll go to a different part of the state of the state we're in.
You don't need to go like 500 miles.
Right, like I'm not trying to do that with somebody I know from the strip club, and you're telling me you're a lawyer. Great, cool. Yeah. I don't know that. You just come here in a business suit.
There's no way to verify that.
Right, and so that was definitely cool to learn, and a blessing the way that everything happened in my life of learning how to verify who it is and learn who I'm seeing and do it in a safe manner. And like I think about it, I'm like going into it, I was like, who would want to ever send that out to anybody? Like, like personal information? Like, but then I'm like, you're right. What are you trying to, you are trying to see me though. So like, you're right. Very right. Yeah. But it's just like so crazy to me that that's just like the life that people... That it's a whole nother like world that people don't know.
That's why I'm trying to do the podcast, because I'm like, so many people are fucking doing this thing, right? And nobody's talking about it. Why don't we fucking talk about this shit?
Right. Like, and it's not like a bad thing. Like that's what it's always looked at as such a bad thing, and it's definitely not. It's definitely been eye opening to see that it's not bad. Like I'm not signing up for failure, and only if you know, like you can though. It's definitely, it makes sense why people see it like that, because of so many people not doing it the right, I guess not the, I don't want to say the right way, but doing it the...
Well, it's like everybody runs their businesses kind of differently. Differently, you know?
But like doing it a manly matter, I don't know how to explain it.
Did you know anybody like while dancing at the club that was also seeing people kind of like outside to kind of like guide you in that path, or you're like thinking like, are you doing everything like solo by yourself? Do you like...
No. So one magical day, this man walked in, this godly man just walked in.
Godly man?
Yeah. Oh, just midday, just casual, just like, I'm just working, doing my thing. And he just comes in and he just like sits down, and I have my eyes on him. Obviously I'm trying to work, but doesn't look like somebody that is trying to like spend money, like do, you know what I'm saying? And like trying to get a bitch twerking on him and stuff, especially at 2:00 or 4:00 in the afternoon. Yeah, I see him just like sit down. I get called up on the stage and stuff. He's having food. I'm just like watching him do his thing. I'm doing my thing. He leaves. Next day he comes back. It was just crazy that I was like, I need to say something. Like, and that whole time I'm on stage, I'm like, what do I say? Like, how do I, okay, so you're going to get down. What do you say? What do we say? What do we talk about? And then, like, how do you introduce yourself? How are you coming about this? And then next day he comes back and I'm just trying to act cool. And I'm like, oh, I didn't notice you yesterday at all. No, not at all. But definitely met him. One of his songs was playing actually on like, they were just playing one of his songs.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. And I was like jamming to it with my friend and he comes over and he's like, oh, you like the song? And I'm like, yeah, it's like never heard it, but yeah, it's a good song. And he's like, yeah, it's me. And I'm like,
I feel like if I had music that they're playing in strip clubs, I would go to a different strip club every day, wait for the song to be played, and be like, "Yo, that's me."
Right? Like if that was my thing, like absolutely, like what? But no, I literally. It was just so funny. I didn't believe that was him. I was like, "No, what are you doing here?" Like, there's. Yeah, that's see that girl on there. Yeah, that's me too. What you? But no, definitely looked into that. And it was him.
Okay. Nice.
And got very blessed to meet that happened. I guess I don't know how to explain it. It was just kind of like somebody that sat me on their lap and was like, hey, if you want to change your life, like it got to the point of if you want to change your life, like, and do something a little bit more than this because you're better than that. And it was like, you're very right. And I don't know who you are though. I didn't even know who, like, I didn't even believe you were who you were when you told me that. So that is how I kind of really got into it.
Okay, so he kind of like helped you out, like starting out?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. No, through the whole way.
Okay.
Through everything. Yeah. Big part.
Do you, like when seeing people, right? Do you feel like you have like an average clientele that contacts you? Like people that hit you up to see you?
Yeah, no, it's everybody.
Everybody?
It's literally everybody. It goes down to college Asian kids to literally 18-year-olds to old, like very old, like very very old men. Even just calling me trying to talk. Like it's just so fun. Everything, literally everything.
Fuck yeah,
I love it.
Do you feel like when people reach out to you, they know how to contact you? Like,
no.
Do people know what they're doing when they hit you up?
No, I definitely caught that vibe of them not knowing after like a few months of like maybe the first month or two of not of me also not like knowing what I'm doing kind of because I just started, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm not like I wasn't the biggest leader like personally, like wasn't like the big leader type of role, so I was like I never took that charge to like explain what I'm trying, especially for work, like for. But
also,
stuff like
I feel
that.
like, but also too, it's not your job to like explain how to hit like every person that fucking you're gonna just be constantly just like, this is how you should. How
annoying it is.
Like that would just be constant.
And then they don't even see you, and it's like, oh, now you're scared. Okay, oh, that's too much. Okay, great, thank you for all that.
Wasting my time.
But you still got to be thankful for it. But yeah. I definitely wish there was a better way to come about that whole process of even talking, because I think if maybe they had a platform maybe or something, a place they can go to just even feel more comfortable about hitting, like texting us or like, because they'll call, like people will call me. I'll text them because I was like in the shower or something, and I'm not trying to talk on the phone because I know they sit on the phone for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, you're probably even jerking off right now. I'm not trying to do this. So like I'll text them and they'll keep calling, And I'm like, okay, great. And I'll answer it, and that'll be like the 5-minute conversation. I'll literally, okay, over it, text me, great. Try to text them, and they're like, try to talk to them. They keep asking about like, what do you mean work proof? Like, what do you want me to, I don't have a LinkedIn. And I'm like, they're like, I'm retired. I'm like, okay, great. Like why aren't you working with me? I don't know what you have in your home. Like,
it's like
I don't
suddenly
know
everyone's
what
like, doesn't have whatever you need.
Right.
Like,
Suddenly you don't work. Suddenly you haven't worked a day in your life or have like tax pay something.
Like, oh man, I lost my ID.
Like, right. Oh, it's COVID. I can't go get another one.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you don't have a passport. Nothing. Like, suddenly we're all lost of every the thought. Like, even just like, it kind of sometimes feels like they come into it thinking that I know what you want. Like, I don't know anything about, I don't even know what you look like. Like, I don't even know your eye color, nothing. And you've seen me though. Like, and it's funny to me when my favorite thing is when they're like, who is this? I get that they text a whole bunch of people. Yeah. But my favorite thing is when they're like, who is this? And I'm like, man.
But I feel like with like social media now, how it is, like, it's so easy to legitimize who you are, because it's like, okay, I have this ad, right, that says who I am. I have this Instagram that shows pictures of me. I have this Twitter that also shows pictures of me. And I have fucking OnlyFans. It's like there's so many fucking ways to verify that I am who I say I am.
Yeah, you would think.
And you just want me to go off your word that you
like
you are who you say you are.
You literally think that, and then they're still like, can I get a picture of you?
And follow me on Twitter.
Right, like, follow me every single, Google, anything. Like, do it. It's really not that. Google my name. Like, see what comes up. Yep. You know? It's really not that it doesn't make any sense sometimes. And I'm like, why?
I don't know. I feel like if you're like, because there's a like the sex worker subreddit, the like pinned post is like for clients, like how to reach out to a sex worker if you want to book somebody. If you're a client listening to this podcast, fucking just click on the Reddit sex workers subreddit, and there's a post there, and it tells you how to reach out to read that shit. It's great information. Like, it's so easy.
It's just being a little informational, like more, like I love when there are definitely people that are more direct, like they give you a nice summary of what, like, who they are, and just like a little introduction, like, hello, like
well that makes it like so much easier. Like, if I'm hitting somebody up, I'm like, hey, I'm Tank, I'm a comic in Atlanta, I saw your ad here, I'm trying to book you for this amount of time on this day. Oh, boom.
Right. I'm not trying to waste time. I'm getting to the point, and it's not like the hey, how are you? Like, no.
I'm bad now. You're texting me, hey.
Like, I understand. It's I don't mind. Like, I try to understand, like, they want to text. They want, like, some people out there don't have that type of thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'd love to, I don't want to be rude about it or anything, but it's like, still, like, let's just meet. Like, to just come over. Then, at that point.
I feel you.
Let's figure it out real quick.
Yeah. Going into like kind of like working like one-on-one with somebody, did you know like about like reviews and shit? Like, did you know that there was like this whole thing about like reviews for people and stuff?
Yeah, that definitely got me like a little, like, there was definitely part of me was like, okay, you have to do a very good job on and you don't know who this person is. But that was even with the strip club. You don't know who this is. You don't know who this is walking in. Yeah. I don't know if that was just me, but whoever you are, I have to treat you the best way because I don't know who you are. And I don't know what you're going to tell anybody. I don't know who you know. I don't know anything like that. So when it does come to, especially now, I've realized, like, I've had like some bad people that don't want to screen. They're like, "Oh, you're a cop. I'm writing horrible reviews on you." And like, I've had even like people tell me, like, and come see me. They're like, "Oh, you have like a bad review on there," and like stuff like that. Of like, not of like something with screening though, and of like saying I'm a cop, and I'm like,
obviously, right? You just saw me.
I definitely am a cop right now. Yep, you're right. Smoking this blunt. Yeah, you wanna hit it? Like, you're right. That
is entrapment.
You're totally right.
Yeah.
You got me.
I know, like, social media is a huge thing. You feel like you're big on Twitter, Instagram. So I was looking at your Twitter yesterday, right? You got this video. I would consider this a viral video. One of the fucking craziest videos I think I've ever seen in my life, right?
That's amazing. I love that.
Incredible.
I love that.
Fucking amazing,
That's
right?
awesome.
I feel like I don't even know how to like. So, listeners, you should follow Aniston on Twitter. Aniston Bleu on Twitter. It's Roadhead basically, but you're driving the car.
I am.
How afraid were you filming that?
Okay, so let me just
Let's
tell you
get
the
logistics.
story
Let's get
of
logistics
that. Like,
of
can
this
I
story.
just
Okay.
yeah? It's the beginning of me doing this. Like, this is the beginning of me even getting into the sex world. Just left like strip club world.
Yeah.
Like, okay, bigger, better things are coming. Like, we're doing some crazy. Because I really grew up. Like, I really was a kid and was like, I want to be a porn. Like, I would love to be a porn star one day. Like, how great. Like, how awesome would that be to have sex for like, and you make money?
Yeah.
All I have to do is that. All I have to do is have sex. You say less. Like, please say less. But obviously, as you grow older and with people and growing up, it just like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Like, that's not commonly right for you to do that.
Yeah.
And whatever. But so that was just, it was my first time. Like, we were taking a road trip to Ohio, I think. Like, my first time going to Cleveland or something like that. And I'm driving. I can't.
Yo, go check out the video.
Right. It's just like, I can't. And he just like tells me to start sucking his dick. And I'm like, how do you want me to do that? What do you mean?
I'm
driving a car. I'm like, I'm in, what? What? He's like, okay, cruise control.
Cruise control.
You're right.
I didn't even think about cruise
like,
control.
You're right. Wow. So I don't have to do that part. And I'm just like nervous, like, okay, cool. This is dope, but
what happens?
Right, like how but yeah, I just started doing it and I was like, okay, cool. And then I saw it later and I was like, whoa, that shit looks dope. Like, we're in the middle of nowhere. Like, we're in the midst of highways and it was awesome.
That's cool. Did anybody? I know you like. Did Tesla hit you up? I know you tagged Tesla.
I wish they did.
That would have been sick.
I wanted a Tesla for it so I can make videos in it. But
I feel like 75. Like, I looked.
If they were more into the sex world, I feel like they would have.
Yeah. Damn. Did anybody hit you up? Did you get any feedback from people? Like, hit you up that were like, that was amazing?
Oh, for that video?
Yeah.
Like, to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah, still to this day.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. That was literally posted in like March, like when I first started doing it. So, and it's December.
Yeah.
So I'm literally still getting like, you're awesome. Like, we need to be friends. Like, literally the other day.
That shit is crazy.
I was like, yeah, you want to take a road trip?
Damn. How does social media play a role like in your business?
Definitely a big role. For verification, especially, having to see that it's not just somebody that is trying to play you. And it's not just like, I am a girl. Like, it is me. Like, even though some girls, like you could tell, like, they don't know what, like, how to make it look because it's just from, like, other, like, I even went through that phase of, like, I don't know how to make this look like I'm even trying to sell myself.
Oh, okay.
And then I started getting like hit ups from promoters and they were like, don't do that. Like, don't spam people. Don't do like, make yourself look like an actual, like, make it look like an account. Like, you're an actual person. Because I am. You are.
Yeah, you're
like,
a person.
you are.
Yeah.
And that's like a big thing to make it look like this is a person's account.
Yeah.
Because it's not, they don't like, nobody likes knowing that. When clients even me, they're, oh, is Aniston your real name? And it's like, do you, even at the strip club, like, I'm like, do you really, like, even if what's the, yes, it is. How do you know if it is or not? What does it matter? I understand I have your personal information and stuff like that, but, like, it doesn't matter. I don't know what to tell you. Like, no, it's not, but yes, it is. That's a different person, and it's like, you view me as that person. If you call me that name, I don't know you. Yeah. Who are you?
I remember being at like the strip club one of the first times, and like I was like outside in the smoking section, and this guy was asking this girl like what her like name was, you know, and she told him, and then he's like, "How do you spell that?" And she's like, "However you want to spell it."
Right.
Like it's like
Whatever
yeah,
you
like
think
whatever
it
you
is.
think. That's how you spell it. Like
Literally.
it's. You said you started like kind of like meetups in March.
Mm-hmm.
So I know like I feel like March was kind of the time when Corona's getting out there, you know, like we're like, there's a thing now.
Right.
Were you kind of nervous getting into the industry, like starting that with Corona, like ramping up and shit at all?
Okay, so honestly, going, like, because of the whole quarantine thing.
Yeah.
Like, in, like, seeing people.
Yeah.
Going to the vegan thing.
Oh, okay.
That diet change and the health that I felt change was definitely a big factor of me feeling confident in seeing anybody that was coming to see me. I knew I didn't get sick easily like before and stuff, but I knew that my diet definitely, like your body has a big role in that. And what you put into your body. Yeah. So that was definitely a big factor then. It's definitely a lot in your head. Of how you see it, how you think of it, what you think, what you draw to yourself. Yeah. So if I did keep thinking about, oh, this person probably has Corona, like I'll probably end up, right. I probably will end up with Corona. It's great. Yeah. But like, no, I heard some like girls would be doing that meets with like masks on, and like that just makes no sense to me though. Like you're already meeting them. Yeah. You're already one-on-one. Like you're just making it weird now.
When I know a lot of sex workers kind of moved to like online sex work during the pandemic, whether that be like OnlyFans or whatever. There's so many different platforms out there. I know you have an OnlyFans, you do like Sex Panther. How do you like OnlyFans, Sex Panther? How have they been for you?
They've been really good. It's definitely been a constant flow. I think that's where the social media definitely plays the biggest part of the online. Like Twitter, Instagram and stuff. With OnlyFans, like Twitter's where I promote, and like Reddit and stuff, and like
Reddit's the fucking Reddit's the
everywhere.
That's where it's at.
Like Tumblr's even and everything, just to get that name out. Like that's where you do that. Just with anything anyway, so.
What was your relationship like with sex before getting into sex work?
My relationship with sex.
Like how'd you view, like I guess where I'm going with this is like, have your views on sex changed at all since getting into this, you know?
Yeah, now I think about it. Because I'm still young, so it's not like right, like I'm 21. So I just turned it. So I just kind of got out of that phase of being my little hoe self and being like, oh, I'm trying to fuck. And but like I did go through but with like, I'm just me. And I was a mix of like, I'm trying to be in a relationship and be a good person and not be this like outcast but then I'm trying to fuck and not have no problems. But then like life gets to you and shit happens. But so like I definitely was in a lot of I definitely just love to fuck though. Like any relationship I was in, like no matter, it sucked. Like thinking about it's hilarious. Like I was in bad relationships, but we're still fucking every day. Like, it's
not too bad.
Right. Like why, but like still it just made it's just funny to me.
I feel like it's better to be in a bad relationship and be fucking every day than be in a bad relationship and never fucking ever.
I guess so. But when you're kids. It's definitely the view of it's changed there's different levels to it. A whole bunch of different levels to it.
Do you feel like your views on men have changed at all since starting?
Absolutely. And just like the male source is changed.
How so? Like, how do you view? I guess view men. Like, what do you like?
Once again, different levels to it of different types of seeing what type of like. I think like it's changed in the aspect of seeing how like men actually think. Okay. And it kind of is very eye-opening to see. I feel like this side of the this work really gets to see like actually the vulnerable sometimes side of the male, and And
Like,
it's like you actually have to like take your role and like play your part of a woman and like lead them and guide them. And it's like some of them really don't know what is up. Like they don't know what's going on. They're like, well, I need to vent to somebody. I don't have nobody to talk to. And like, this is what they have brought themselves to. But it's better than laying down on a couch and, oh, what's your problem? Like, what's going on, to your therapist and stuff. So I started to treasure that of the work.
Because there are definitely, like, I feel like as a dude, like, being vulnerable in everyday situations, it's kind of hard to do, I guess, or it's like, you kind of be like hard or whatever, fucking, like, all day, every day, but, like, being in a spot where you can be vulnerable with somebody else without any kind of fucking expectations or judgment, anything. It's like a fucking nice thing to be able to have.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. That's why I like to call it a provider, because it's not like I'm just providing that service of sex. Like, it's literally so much more than that. I have to listen to your stories, your life story sometimes. Like, I'm sitting there listening to your whole entire life story and trying to be as supportive, and just met you. Yeah. I just met you. Thank you. Yeah, I'd be here for you, absolutely. But that does definitely take a big toll. And, like, not a toll, I guess, but it definitely plays a big part. And, like, maybe people don't realize that. Yeah. That it's definitely that aspect of it, and not just, oh, hey, you're here, great, let's fuck.
Like the emotional labor side, like the emotional part of it, can be, like, sometimes, I guess, more than, like, the physical side of, like, meeting up with somebody.
For sure. Yeah, it's like that little connection of that they're definitely looking for.
Yeah. Has how you view yourself changed at all after getting into sex work?
For sure. Just like that confidence level. Yeah. Oh, I got this. Yeah. Like, you really can't tell me shit, because I am the walking business. Like, yeah, great. Like, you can't take that away from me. Like, what, are you gonna take my coochie out? Like, no. Like, we need to close it or something. Yeah. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So that's the one thing that has definitely changed, of even with, like, the male source of dating, of being in a relationship type of thing, that confidence and that level boost of, I'm not just gonna, like,
yeah, just like that. I feel like the confidence has to be just like riding high on the confidence, right. You know? Like, if somebody told me all the time that I was so great and, like, so awesome, and, like, how much they, like, being around me made them feel good, like, I'd be like, that fucking gassed me out. I feel fucking great, you know?
Every day, and all day, all night. Yeah. Text paragraphs, yelling capital letters, how great I am, how amazing. Like, it's definitely some bad things in there too, but, like, all the... Man, it's just like, whoever you are, you're on the other side of the world. Yeah. And, like, you've never even met me and you love me. You're telling me you love me. And, like, people, like, even sending me money that have never even, like, it's just not, like, that whole part. Like, oh. Yeah. Okay.
I must be doing something right.
Right. All right. Thank you. Hell yeah. Here's a picture or two, because I'm just like, I'm like, great. Thanks. Keep it up.
Hell yeah. Do you feel like, does burnout ever happen for you at all?
What does that mean?
Like, burnout, like, to where you're, like, get tired of working, you know? Like, so you ever, like, I don't want to, like, I fucking don't want to do this. Like,
yeah, there will definitely be days, especially around Shark Week time.
Shark Week time?
Yeah, Shark Week.
Like Shark National Week. Geographic Shark Week?
Personal Girl Shark Week.
Period?
Yes.
Okay. I never heard Shark Week before. Wow. Okay.
Around that time is when I'm just like, I'm really not trying to do this. Like, and then it's just, like, funny to, like, think about it. I've had times that I lay there, I'm like, girl, you could afford to just lay here right now and just take this day off, just because you don't feel like. But you need to have that urgency to, like, you have to have that want to do it, or you could get a bad review that day. Or, like, you know, like, they could think that this is you every day. Like, giving them even an attitude is hard to play being an actress or something, you're not in a good mood that day. Like, you have to get out of it.
It's like one of those jobs, like I was speaking to like my last guest and they were saying like, I feel like so many jobs you can be kind of checked out and working, but like where sex work is like you have to be so present and
Absolutely.
It's hard being like, disassociated or like it's hard checking out and then doing your job, you know? Like you have to be fucking fully present.
Yep, literally. Because even I've caught myself, like they're talking to me and telling me about their life stories, and I'm like thinking about what I want for dinner, and then like they'll ask something, or like they'll say something, I'm like, fuck, now I feel bad. Like I really don't know what they just said, and they're like almost crying, like and I'm like, fuck, did I just miss something? You're like, oh god, like you really have to be there.
Yeah.
And even during sex, like in the middle of it, I've caught like even in the beginning, like not knowing what I'm doing half the time. Like in the beginning, just learning what the fuck am I doing? Like how do I vibes and emotions and like stuff like that. It plays a big part if you're not there.
Yeah.
If I get too much in my head while having sex with this 50-year-old man of like, what am I doing right now? Yeah. Like that you could tell, you could tell I have to change that real quick. Like it cannot be like that because it's very present moment. Like you can't hide that. Yeah. You cannot hide any of it because they're inside of you. Like you can't get any closer than that.
You know? What advice? I know you're kind of like still new in the game. Would you have advice advice you'd tell somebody like getting into like being a provider, maybe like dancing, OnlyFans? Do you have any advice?
Other than to hit me up for it. The confidence thing, and make sure it's what you want to do, and that it's not just something because it's for money. Yeah. And just because you're like, cool, I have a pussy that could make money. Like, no.
I feel like that's the joke that so many people make. They're like, oh, if I could fuck for money, I would totally. Like,
you don't know how many times I hear that.
You can do that. Technically, you just don't want to do that, or you can't do that. You know, it's just like an easy like joke to make, but it's like you couldn't fucking do this shit. You couldn't deal with these goddamn text messages all fucking day
and night, all the time. Like your phone dying. It's like I don't even. Yeah. Yeah, that's really about it. Yeah. Because it's definitely a big life changing. It's a whole different role. Yeah. It's like thinking about if you want to be an actress or if you want to be this or if you want to do this. Because you're changing your whole life for it. Yeah. It's hard to play this type of job secretly. Because it's not something that, so yeah, I'm going to my 9-to-5 job. Like, no, you can't just like really do that. Like, I guess you can, but that's like, I feel like that's annoying. Yeah. To just like, if you're going to be a sex worker, do it and love it because that's what you should.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know one thing I had meant to ask you at the beginning. Like, I know you show your face in your ads. Mm-hmm. You're on OnlyFans, like your face is out. Mm-hmm. Did you have any hesitancy at all, like when you're getting in, like because some people like don't show their faces at all. Did you have any hesitancy, like showing your face in your ads or anything? Because I know once shit's on the internet, it's always up there forever.
Oh, for sure, yeah. That was a big thing that it's like my dad's gonna find out, or like my mom's gonna see it, or like they're gonna find out or something, and there's physical proof that's right there. Like you could just take a screenshot of this. Yeah. That's me. My dad. I'm like waiting for you to send this to me. Like this is you. Like how are you gonna tell me it's not you? Yeah. And I'm like, but I had to get over that of fuck it. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. It's not me. Yeah. That's Aniston. So that's
like she even has the same tattoos as you. That's crazy. What
twins,
the fuck?
I should get a number, huh? Let me get that.
Fucking parent
She's
trap.
Hot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How long do you see yourself in sex work?
Not more than anything close to 5 years. Like maybe like a few years. Okay. 4 maybe max. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Like yes, but no. Of like depends on how you look at it. Of having this full time. Yeah. Of like sex work, as in meeting every day and working that full time. Of not longer than a few years, but it'll definitely still always be in my life. Yeah. I think forever. but like I don't see myself meeting people when I'm like 40 or like even 35.
It's a fucking long time.
Yeah,
That's like,
I'm not trying to.
Who
do
even knows
that.
what the world
like,
will be?
You're gonna be paying though. Like if it is like I've really thought about it. I'm like if you were to meet me when I'm like 35 at this point, that's only like 15 years. So it's like you're paying big money. Like that's like a lot of money to see me.
Yeah. It's like the longer you're in the game, the more the price just constantly goes up, you know?
Right.
Do you have a thing, like, if you could do anything, like, in the, like, job-wise, or, like, if money wasn't an obstacle, you're like, I would do this thing? Do you have, like, that job or, like, that thing you would do? Like,
so, like, what I've always been wanting when I, like, took a step back to reality and started, like, growing up, and I was like, what do you really want to do when you, every day?
Yeah.
To, like, that you love, because I've questioned a lot of like older people of like how like your job, how do you like it?
Yeah.
How do you like it? Nobody likes their job, and I'd like love to find people that do love their job and like what is it differently that you do, because I don't want to wake up hating my job every day.
Yeah.
So like just loving what you do. So this is really it. So like it's great that it comes with money.
Yeah.
And like with weed, really, it's like I've always wanted to just put that good vibe into the world. So like whatever it is that I gotta do,
fuck yeah,
I'm doing it. Like that's what I'm saying with food. Food is a people's comfort. Like, I loved cooking it, loved doing that. Weed makes people happy. Like all of it. Sex work. Oh, this was like
the trifecta.
Right.
Food, weed, sex work.
It can't get better than that.
Hell yeah. Are you a fan of stand-up comedy at all?
I am.
Do you got any favorite comedians?
Bill Burr is hilarious, and Kevin Hart.
Fuck yeah.
Bill Burr is definitely my favorite.
Bill Burr's so funny.
He's just like a dark humor, and it's just hilarious.
I love it. Have you been to a comedy show before?
I haven't, like a live one, no.
You gotta go. Once this is all, well, I mean, they're kind of having like kind of like social distance shows and shit. But like once everything's back in full swing, you gotta go. There's nothing really like live comedy, you know?
Right. That's what I've definitely been. I've been like looking it up. I'm like, is it open? Like, are you guys having shows? Yeah. And like, I found like live ones that are like online. I'm like, that's so corny. Like, this life is so.
There's like fucking this like wave of Zoom comedy shows that happened, and I'm like.
Even with like concerts,
I'm good on that. I'm good on that shit.
Are you guys partying in your living room?
I'm definitely not paying for that shit.
Right.
Also.
That's what I'm saying. They're like, oh, subscribe. Yeah. I'm like,
I'm good on that.
I can't wait to see y'all in person one day. I think like that last Kevin Hart one on Netflix. Have you seen
the most recent one?
Yeah, in his
like
basement.
Like he's on like a small ass stage. Yeah. I've not seen it.
It's so funny.
It's good?
It's about COVID.
All right, I gotta check it out. It's fucking, so basically Kevin Hart was doing shows like in Laughing Skull probably like a couple times a week before the pandemic happened. Like it was just like pop-up shows that would sell out like in 5 minutes or whatever in Atlanta. But yeah, that's over now.
Right.
But like he was working on that fucking special that
that's dope.
just came out.
Right.
It's over now. Let's plug a little bit of social media before we get out here. Where can the people find you if they want to find you? Instagram, Twitter, OnlyFans. Where can they find you?
Yeah. Twitter is Aniston Bleu. The BLEU. Don't spell it BLEUE.
How big of a decision was it going blue and blue, like the cheese and the color? How was you know? I feel like that's a big decision. You know. How'd you decide on the cheese versus the color?
Right. I don't think I had much of a part in the thought of the cheese and the in the color part. Didn't think about it like that.
Maybe. I guess you could really just spell either one wrong.
I just really liked it. How I was like, oh, so it's like not blue, but it's blue.
Yeah. It is, but it's not.
My blonde ass was like, dope. I didn't even think about it being like blue cheese or something.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Anderson, I appreciate you coming on the podcast. It's been great.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Fuck yeah.
It's been dope.
Definitely. Listeners, we will be back later. That was my interview with Aniston Bleu. Yo, shout out Aniston. I appreciate you coming on the podcast. That was a lot of fun. Listeners, follow her. She is on Twitter at Aniston Bleu. That is Aniston, ANISTONBLEU. She is on Instagram at aniston.blue. And you can find her on OnlyFans, onlyfans.com/Aniston Bleu. I will have a link to all of those in the Libsyn page from this week, so make sure you hit that Libsyn page. Show her some love. As always, you can find us on Instagram, on Twitter, at Full Service Pod. I'm at Tank Funkadelic. Thanks for being here. This has been episode 70. We will be back on Tuesday. Ooh boy, who's the guest going to be? I don't know. Maybe it's going to be a solo? I don't know. I'm still up in the air, but I feel like it'll be an interview next week. But stay tuned. I'll announce it on Twitter. Make sure you're following us. If you want to support the show, head on over to patreon.com/fullservicepod. You'll be able to hear interviews, content you cannot hear anywhere else. Shout out to everybody on Patreon that's supporting the show. I truly appreciate it. You have no idea. If you enjoy the show, make sure you are subscribed on whatever platform you're listening to us on. Hit that like button, that follow button, that subscribe button. You'll be alerted as soon as those new episodes drop. If you want to be a guest on the show, send us an email, fullservicepod@gmail.com. If you want to hear anything talked about, or if you just want to write in and let us know what's going on in your life, send us an email. That'd be awesome. I'll read it on here. Hey. But no, I appreciate you being here. This has been episode 70. We will be back next Tuesday. Hope you guys have a good week. I will see you then. Later.